Hello tipsters and tricksters, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vintage tips and tricks video. If you're new to my channel, my name is B. I'm a vintage glamour enthusiast and musician. I make vintage beauty and style videos with a little bit of sustainability, veganism and lifestyle thrown in for good measure. So if that sounds like your jam, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when my videos come out. He's got it! If you don't know who this is, it is Mr. Erick Hayden. He has a wonderful channel called Eccentric Nature. We are friends. Some of you might know that I sing with lovely Rachel. I do a duet with her. Well, Erick is Rachel's husband, and you've probably seen him in pictures and other videos on my channel, so it's time we finally introduced you.
Oh, hello.
Now, I love Erick's channel because he has a whole range of videos on teas, on spices, on herbs, and he not only reviews them, but he gives wonderful information about history and even mythology related to those things. So definitely check it out. I know you guys are going to love it. But today, what we're going to do is try some terrifying vintage recipes from the 1950s. Because a lot of what is on Erick's channel has been tea-based, and his Instagram, he does little reviews as well, I thought Erick might like to join me and supply some tea to go with our menu. Also means that we have something to carry us through if we're struggling, or at least we know the tea is going to be tasty. So the second half of this video will be over on Erick's channel. It will be linked down below. I'll link it here as well. Do check it out if you want to see what kind of tea we are drinking, because he has made sure it is era specific. It goes with the meal and it would have been drunk during the time. And he'll also go into a bit of history about tea and how it was drunk during that time too. So go and check that video out as well.
What have you got if you haven't got love?
Before us, as you can see, we have this monstrosity. I mean, it's kind of pretty in its current state, but I'm a little bit afraid of what's inside it. But we'll you know, reserve judgment. You guys have seen my previous video, which I'll link up above, where I tried sandwich recipes, and to be honest, they weren't as bad as I was anticipating.
I probably would be more scared if I hadn't seen that video.
Yes, true.
Because I at the moment, I'm like, you know, envisioning other people's tasting videos and just like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I'm just very petrified, and part of me, and another part, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's figure out what's going on here.
If it's good, we will let you know. Yeah. And we'll let you know if we think it can be maybe improved upon.
We have already had to alter them slightly in order to make them all vegan. I'm vegetarian, she's full vegan, so we've definitely altered all these recipes slightly.
On the screen, I'll pop up the original recipes and then alterations down below. All right. Okay. Shall we, I guess, cut from the shorter end?
Heck, from the shorter end. I want to like try and just get the whole experience in one bite, but it's so massive. It's like the size of my hand. Like
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's scary, isn't it?
I can't even cut it properly.
We need like a... like a...
I need a fork to hold it.
Carve it like it's a roast.
Carve it like it's a roast, yeah.
At least it doesn't look too moist. Everyone's favourite word.
We're afraid, yeah, the bread was going to suddenly go all soggy, but it looks like it's held up.
I just feel like finger sandwiches is much more party friendly. We should try to delicately cut this during a
feels like it's
tea.
4 finger sandwiches stuck in one. Yeah. So what have we got in here? What's going on?
We have a layer on the bottom of ham and celery with a little bit of mayonnaise. Then we have a chili egg filling, but obviously vegetarian and vegan over here. So we've got tofu essentially with the chili and the mayonnaise as well. Put a bit of nutritional yeast in too. Didn't have black salt, but would have been good with black salt just to give it that sulfury taste. Then we have an avocado filling, which is with French dressing. Oh. Hadn't come across that one before. We shall see how that goes. I mean, it doesn't sound terrible. It just, I guess it moistens it and gives it a bit of seasoning.
I guess so.
See what happens. The whole outside is slathered with cream cheese, so it's not exactly a healthy sandwich option.
So I got my first layer I'm going to go for here. The avocado layer by itself is avocado, and I'm kind of losing the French dressing aspect. It just kind of tastes like avocado, and I think the cream cheese is mellowing it all out a little bit. Wow.
I've tried the celery and ham layer, which is actually not too bad. I mean, it just kind of, you know, it kind of tastes like a normal sandwich, to be honest.
I'm going to be crazy here and just grab both these guys at once and see if I can get a full flavor profile.
This is a bit like the 1930s ones where I thought it was going to be horribly disgusting, and if anything, it's just a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it just reminds me of a, in a way, kind of like a standard tuna sandwich, or that kind of feeling. I think that's why they ask you to, like, most of these recipes to slather it with cream cheese or slather it with mayo, because it kind of just dulls the whole flavor. And in a way, it's like if you really wanted it to be a little bit more impactful, you'd probably take a little bit of that away.
It could almost just be cream cheese and tomato, to be honest.
Yeah. Mixing a little bit from each layer, it actually tastes a little bit better.
Yeah? Alright, let me
Give it a shot.
layer up.
Give it a shot, yeah.
I made the gentleman do it first. Erick's over here taking all the risks.
I'm just being crazy and just like, okay, load it up. That's my job. That's what I do.
Alright.
What do you think? Yeah?
Yeah, a bit more like a salad sandwich, really.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's quite good. I don't mind the celery and ham filling. It didn't sound very appealing, but
Yeah,
actually...
I was afraid the celery would pop out a little bit more, but it kind of just disappears amongst everything else.
Yeah, I'd probably make that into a sandwich. Not in this kind of scenario, but on its own, yeah. Should we wash it down with some tea?
Exactly, yes.
So this is the natural black iced tea. I shan't go into it any further. I shall let Erick explain over on his channel, but if you want to know more about what we're drinking, do check it out. For now, we have skipped ahead to dessert because the jelly salad, the infamous jelly salad that I've made, is still not set. It's in the freezer, but on the off chance that it never sets or that it is half frozen, we figured we might as well just move on, and we'll come back to that later if it makes it into the video at all. So we shall see. But Erick has prepared these fabulous
pecan buns.
Pecan buns from a recipe that, apart from the egg and the soy milk, everything else is pretty much as is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much just a glorified cinnamon roll with just lots of extra syrup and pecans. The syrup. We changed corn syrup for golden syrup because we don't have corn syrup over here in the UK as much. So I'm not sure how big of a difference that makes. I mean, you're more likely to know think it
than me.
makes it, maybe it made it a bit harder in that when we're pulling this out, I actually, when they were first warm, I probably should have just pulled them right out and then took the extra dressing and drizzled it back on, because when we let it cool a little bit, they're a lot harder to pull out of the pan. I was actually able to pull them right out, no problem initially. So you can't wait too long before pulling these out.
Genuinely so excited about these.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Let's go for it. It's actually not as sweet as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
It had a lot of sugar in it in the recipe. And obviously it had kind of a soup of golden syrup at the bottom of each muffin casing. But yeah, this is a winner. I would recommend this recipe for sure.
It's definitely good, yeah. You like doing cinnamon rolls or anything along those lines, they're definitely great.
Well, the whole of this is getting eaten.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
That's all the review you need, guys, is just the sounds of pure happiness coming out of us right now. Now, we have another tea to go with this as well. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're at the scary point, guys. The jelly salad appeared to be ready. It appeared to be solid, and I had heard that the best way to get it out of the mold was to run a little warm water on the outside. But the part with the cottage cheese in it just turned back into a watery mess. And the only bit that's set is the very top. So, it's beautiful. You wouldn't, as if you don't want to eat that, we'll do a nice close-up for you guys.
It's all part of the plan.
This is, to be honest, this is what we made the video for, was this exact moment.
Yeah. This is how hard it is to get this stuff right.
I don't know that you want to get this right.
Yeah, this one I'm definitely afraid of right now, so.
We've got a spatula because we can't figure out any other way to get it on the plate. So, here comes our frozen vegetable sweet salad. I'm assuming you want a big slice.
Oh, of course.
It's definitely frozen as well. There we go. Oh, Erick, you must be so excited. This is the last time he's coming to one of my tea parties.
Make sure we're good enough of that salad dunk too.
We are dedicated. I hope you guys appreciated how dedicated we are. We're making sure we have enough of a serving of the most disgusting part for you guys. So, you're welcome. Here we go. I'm going to get a bit on each.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid too. All right. Cheers. Oink. It's not as bad as I would have expected. I mean, texture-wise, there's nothing pleasant going on, but flavor-wise, it's too sweet, but the rest of it is quite bland, so it doesn't really matter.
I would imagine this might be a little bit worse if we had the lime jello they initially called for.
I actually think, I would agree.
We use a lemon jello, and I think that actually makes it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm not very excited about it in any way, shape, or form.
Really?
It's it's definitely a hot mess, but
if this was real cottage cheese, I think it would be really disgusting.
yeah.
I think it would be worse. The fact that it's tofu, because tofu doesn't have a lot of flavor.
We might actually be saving ourselves because we did a vegan version.
Yeah, exactly. I think so, because I think also the texture of cottage cheese, like, it wouldn't be good.
Do I have to have another bite?
I mean, I don't know why I'm still going. I've eaten like 3 bites.
I know. You're much braver than I am right now.
It's because my brain is confused.
There's such a weird flavors going on here that it's not something I'd normally be like, why? What is this? Why would I put this together?
I will say, the vegan packet jelly I got is quite impressive. I think if I hadn't mixed it with tofu and vegetables, it probably would have set quite well. So, yeah, no.
Okay.
We did it. We did it, guys. And I don't think there's any way to improve this recipe. I don't think that anyone should be putting salad into jelly. Just putting it out there.
And most of the Jello recipes we came across were quite frightening. I mean, there's some good ones that like Jello mixed with other fruits, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I saw some other ones that had Jello with tuna salad with shrimp in it and all these crazy things. I mean, there was one that looked like it should have just been for display and not eating, where they had like a casserole at the bottom and then they put it in a rectangle and they cut out vegetables in the shape of fish.
That's
so
cool.
It kind of looked like it was its own little aquarium. So it's like, for visual purposes, hey, it looks great, but I'm not going to want to cut into that and eat it.
And the amount of effort that you have to put in to make an aquarium-like meal is probably not worth it.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the sandwich cake or the cake loaf, I would probably serve that at a vintage-themed party, and I wouldn't feel like I was torturing my guests. It's not an everyday sort of food, but, it's something different and interesting, and it doesn't taste terrible, and you could probably add a bit more interesting flavors into the mix.
Yeah.
And it would be better. Definitely, I would serve people the pecan buns. They were amazing. I won't serve anyone this ever. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm really sorry.
We came along for the experience. We had to do it. So
I appreciate you are the only person I've ever asked to do this that said yes. So
we should try some proper sweet tea now. Let's just give it a shot.
yeah, let's do it. Cheers. Here's to the end of eating that salad. I'm really glad that you were able to bring some recipes of the era. So I initially asked Eric if he wanted to come together, because obviously Eric has a bit of a vintage style as well. He's got a great collection of ties. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but his tie collection is epic and really great coloured shirts. So apart from herbs and spices and tea on his channel, he's also bringing the vintage style. And I was like, well, it would be lovely to have some tea with our meal. But he went away and found out all about the actual tea of the era. So very cool. Make sure you go and watch the video, guys. An antidote to the trauma we've just experienced here. So that's the video, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope that our pain was your enjoyment. If you like these try out vintage recipes videos, let me know down in the comments. I will make some more. Eric may or may not be willing to do it again with me. I'm not sure.
We could try another round with something else.
We could maybe try and improve the recipes and make things that have a higher chance of being successful and tasty.
I was happy that we had some parsley on here. So.
Yes, there's a bit of lettuce at the bottom of this salad. It's not really the healthiest meal, is it? Check it out. Don't forget you can come and follow both of us on our Instagrams. I'll pop them up above here. Check out my Patreon. It's linked down below. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.